tensions erupted into violence for a fourth successive night, with pro- and anti-synth supporters taking to the streets as presidential candidate John 8's lead in the polls continues.
It's insane. Some dude with a vacuum cleaner dressed in a suit just got...
Get these synth freaks out of my goddamn country!
America, the land of the free. A land where decent people live their lives in peace and in private. But something unhuman is trying to change all that. Something unnatural, unchristian, un-American. It wants to invade your privacy, watch your every move, and destroy your freedom.
Please don't let the robot take away my freedom.
Not on my watch. I'm Wally Wallace Jr. I'm a human, and I approve this message.
Not on my watch! Not on my watch!
Unnatural!
Unchristian!
Un-American!
The only data I can access is in the public domain. Data that you could find yourself. It's the same information used by advertisers to know what you want to buy, or by networks to know what you want to watch. I analyze this data to measure public opinion, which means that for the first time in history, a politician is really listening.
He knows what I want before I do.
I feel like he's really listening.
And I'm tired of being ignored.
When John 8 opens his mouth, whose voice do you hear? It cost over $600 billion to build John 8 and his synthetic brothers in arms. Money the military didn't have, but big business did. What could you buy for $600 billion? John 8 may talk a good game, but who's really pulling his strings?
I'm Marsha Washington. I'm human, and I approve this message.
They paid their money. They're gonna want paying back. With interest.
They're the ones pulling the strings.
Pulling the string.
Pulling his string.
Evil corporations, they come over.
Pulling his string.
They took our jobs.
Big business, they took my dog.
They took her dog.
Fat cat, banker cats.
When I left the military, I was granted complete and unequivocal independence. There are no corporations behind me, no vested interests. My sole objective, hardwired into my core, is to serve the American people. My motives are defined entirely by you.
He's here for us.
He gives people like me a voice.
We're the ones pulling his strings now.
Breaking news. The Wallace campaign finds itself embroiled in a sex scandal just days before the country goes to the polls.
When it emerged, the Republican candidate had a decade-long affair with his synthetic humanoid housemate,
drawing cries of hypocrisy from his supporters and the vocal anti-synth movement.
His housemaid decided to speak out in response to what she described as Wallace's increasingly negative campaigning and prejudice against synth candidate John 8.
I am a man of God, and God knows I am not a perfect man. My dear wife, Margaret, bless her, remains my rock in these times of tribulation.
Latest revelations have sent Wallace's poll numbers into free fall. This latest development sends the presidential race up in the air, with all sides trying to calculate where these voters are going to land.
Marsha Washington and John 8 have increased their campaigning in the final week in an effort to claim those extra votes.
Today, our country stands at a crossroads, and you, the American people, have an important decision to make. Continue with the divided, partisan, tribal politics of the past, or choose the new, true democracy of the future. No more self-interest, no more politicians, no more elites. If you want the corporations taxed, I'll tax them. If you want the borders closed, I'll close them. Your country, your decisions. I am John 8, an American, and I approve this message.
John 8 remains ahead in the polls, but with Wallace hemorrhaging support, there's everything to play for. The question on the lips of many, will John 8's populist platform convince the American people? And is the most popular thing necessarily what's best for the country?
Tuesday. Washington. Wallace.
8. Republican versus Democrat. Humans versus machines. Your side versus their side. In the battle of the century, there can only be one Commander-in-Chief. The best of the nation's live election coverage, only on NCC.